Hey there, this is Luis from Heavyosity, straight from Heavyosity Studios. Today I want to share a very exciting new series we're starting called Same Footage, Different Score. For this, we're going to be showcasing how the different sounds developed here at Heavyosity can affect the emotion and the vibe of a same piece of footage. We're going to try to attend to the emotion, to the piece, to the movement, but using different sounds and different orchestrations to achieve the same and also different kinds of things. For this, we'll be working with a clip by Mayar Nuri. It's from a short film called Signal, in which a guy wakes up waiting for a phone call, and then stuff starts to happen, and there's just a lot of emotion, a lot of rhythm, and everything is told by the music. Let's see what I did. So let's break it down by section. The beginning, as we saw, our main character wakes up. We want stuff to start ramping. We want movement to be subtle, but we also want the emotion to be strong. So warm wavy pad is what kickstarts the whole cue. It's lush, it's bright, it has a little tinge of vocal stew to it. Using the soundscapes, which is basically a cue in a preset, we're able to just create, with just 2-3 different notes, a big atmosphere. Using Cyborg and Serenity now, stacking them, you have that low end and that bright, airy, very emotional top end. So you can see the mod wheel is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. And that low note for me was very important because it's basically when the picture starts coming up. And I'm using the hybrids for this one. It's the Solemn Fallout. Has like a synthy vibe to it, but a big low end that you can feel it. And basically we're getting that B flat under the D minor, which has like subdominant like quality that's very like uplifting, but it's also very emotional. And the one other thing for this moment we want to start to introduce is rhythm. Rhythm is a big part of driving story forward. Basically you have the traditional damaged and hybrid NKIs, and you have the pedal versions of those, which are also processed, but they're multi-sampled, and they're like really cool ways of adding quick rhythm. So for this one, you have two things coming up. The Answers Await and Trippin' Tims. There it is. This is pretty cool because one instance, two very different sounds on top of each other. It's a very efficient, but also very powerful way of working. So all of this ramps up together to the next section that I called Build Up. Let's just... As you can see, the movement is very fast, but the rhythm is still like a little slow because we don't want to give everything away too fast. Things get bigger, but as you can see, the pads are still high up there, so you're still getting the emotion of the character while foreshadowing epicness. The main protagonist of that build-up is two things. Obviously, the brand designer, because I mean, it's the hallmark of it's one of the hallmarks of symphonic destruction. The Bram designer is incredibly useful. We can use tails as atmosphere to swell onto sections. And then we can just stack different drums. Just one different preset, 3 different keys. You can quickly see how easy it is to make a lot of sound. The other part for this section of build-up is the damaged shorts, which are really good for adding a lot of crunch and impact on top of the low end of the Brahms. So we can see we're using Fritz harmonica. Boom. Let's add the Brahms. Oh, there we go. And that will just send us to our next section. And this is the main chunk of the piece. It's where the action begins, it's where stuff really starts moving forward and things start getting really epic. We're listening now to the Brahms. And a lot of the SD designer stuff is kicking in. We have this one called They Have Arrived, which is very much distorted and it's very much on the aggressive side. And it has like those like little minor trills, which are just kind of like a little like extra sauce in there. And they have the portados, which I called potatoes here because that's just funny. They're just big, they're wide, they're adding that extra layer to the section. And then the big motor is the guitars. And the damaged pedals. I just use them in this little moment just to give them extra swell, and I just connected the filter to the mod wheel. So we're able to like bring the stuff from like muffled to brighter and more aggressive. And we're using 2 different pedals, again, using the key switch. And then it just gets the guitar. So we're bridging each section, having something from the previous section. So at that point in bar 19, he's at the rooftop, and in a way he's still running, he's still looking for something, so we have to have the music become a little more exciting just to indicate that stuff is moving towards the development. Guitars, bigger loops. Have a chord change. The big motor here is the traditionals, because a really good ostinato can go a long way. You'll see we're using swells and the repeater. We're doing like an infinite repeater, which is basically an ostinato maker. And then we have like accents in every third note, so it gives you kind of like a counter melody. And then we changed the sound, and the cool thing is like each sound that you record is able to remember the setting that you had before. So you're able to see that Eddie Coleños has a repeater setting with the accent every third, and then Orchestral Staccatos has a repeater setting on the fourth. So it's very easy to key switch, not only between sounds, but also between performance modes, which makes this a very powerful NKI, a very powerful instrument to play with. The damaged ones, they're continue doing their thing with the Fritz harmonica. If it sounds extra aggressive, it's because this has Punish Light, which is just a quick way of adding punish to your performer counter presets that do not have it on their own. So I'm gonna play the damaged shorts with the Brahms, which are the ones that are having that like bong, bong. That's nasty. Oh man. Something that I really enjoy about the Bram Designer is the way you can also like just using your same MIDI controlling keys, the keyboard, you just change the note by using the lower octave, so you don't have to load a whole different set of Brahms, and you can also tweak them on the tuning knob per sound. Crumbling Waves is also a very cool sound that it's quite enjoyable to listen to. It has like a low like bass guitar and like gnarly brass hits. It's in a way it functions as a Brahm. So it's like an extra Brahm that you're adding on top of the other Brahms, because Brahm on top of Brahm is just Brahmazing. Yes, I went there. Then we have Scanners Build, which is also pretty cool. Has that little like riser effect towards the end, which is very useful to add that extra like moving eerie texture on top. The final element is the Loop Designer, which, as you probably know from our previous products, it's our one-stop shop for all your rhythmic needs. And for this last section, we want stuff to just drive it home and just to move forward as intensely and epically as possible. So let's play it. As you can see and you can hear, you have different stuff going on, and it's just the power of only one preset. You have See Off Abandoned panned a little bit to the right. You have Thunder Pulses panned a little bit to the left. And you have Polyjabs Low just driving it like the low end. All this sound together, everything. Nothing is overpowering anything. Everything's just working together with the guitars and the Brahms. A nice retardando at the end, because you want that swell to feel big. So that's a really good way to showcase how the instrument is able to adapt to your composition and to the tempo of the piece. Oh, and the final ingredient for stuff to move forward and to hit big, Damage 2. But for that, you probably already have it. And if you don't, what are you waiting for? Get Damage 2, get Symphonic Destruction. But beyond that, I just think it's amazing that it is possible to just do such a big score with just one instrument. And then having your percussion supplemented, it just sounds professional, it just sounds cool, it just sounds huge. And you have a whole orchestra, and it's already processed, it's already mixed, it out of the box, it sounds ginormous, which is not a word, but I like to use it. So there you have it. If you like this video, just like and subscribe, and make sure to follow Mayar Nouri's work. There's going to be a link on the description below. So again, thank you so much for watching. Symphonic Destruction, go get it. See you next time.